everybody. Welcome to Echo Underground. I'm Shanique.
This is Mike.
And on this podcast, we talk about movies, TV shows, music, and whatever else we feel like it. And Michael's like, what? Today's episode is going to be about the long-awaited new movie in the Star Wars franchise, Star Wars: The Last Jedi. So I'm going to give my grading for this. I gave it a strong, C+, right?
Mm-hmm.
It, honestly, the last 45 minutes entertained me, and then the rest was kind of boring for me. But I think it had good character development for Luke, The last 45 minutes was a great action sequence. There were some parts I was like kind of stupid, but it was for the most part a really good action sequence. I guess for me the only reason I'm also giving a C+ is because we kind of ended where we started in a weird way. Like they didn't get any closer to beating the First Order. Luke, I guess, he went away, but then Rey gained her potential. They still couldn't save Kylo. And the rebellion's even less than it was. And so, a lot of this movie kind of felt like a filler movie. You could have literally probably just You could have probably put out the stuff with Rey and Luke and Kylo in a different movie and not even have this movie. And then you'd be fine. So, I don't know. I just felt like this movie was like a filler in the trilogy. Like we were killing time to the final part. Is it a trilogy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I honestly think this movie wasn't even needed. But because you could have killed Luke in the next one, Kylo could have stayed evil. That whole thing with him and Rey was kind of pointless. It didn't really get anywhere. But other than that, I thought the acting was fine. I'm surprised they didn't kill off Carrie Fisher's character. Because she dead in real life, so I'm kind of curious. Okay. No, I'm just saying how they gonna the way they ended the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they're gonna write her out. Because I thought they were gonna write her out in this movie, but they didn't do that, so that kind of threw me off. Cause here's how I thought. There was a scene. There's already spoilers, but there's a scene where they're escaping from the main ship. I thought she was gonna switch place with that other woman, and that's how she was gonna go out of the series as a hero or something like that. Or I thought when they blew it up, she was gonna die then. But no, she survived all that. She survived to the end, and now I'm like, what's gonna happen in the third? Cause you can't just not have Layla there. Not Leia. What's her name?
Leia.
It is Leia.
You said Layla.
Same shit. I'm not a true fan, so you Star Wars fans come at me, I don't care. But you can't just have her there in this movie, end it the way it is, and then just casually not mention her in the next one. So she probably I think she probably died after it was finished. So it's kind of hard. I don't know what they're going to do. That's going to be very interesting how they write her out, because she's a pretty important character. But overall, a strong C+. It was almost a B-. I just felt like it was a filler. It didn't really... It advanced the characters, but for the plot, maybe one or two things changed, but you could have put that in a different movie. This didn't really have to be a trilogy. I'm just I'm gonna milk it type thing. But that's just my opinion. What do you think of the movie?
I thought that some of my questions from the first one the first one being the Force Awakens. Some of my questions from that one still weren't answered. For one, I get it. Supreme Leader Snoke is the biggest bad guy of the Imperial Order and all that. But who the fuck is he? How did he come in contact with Kylo Ren?
Yeah, that's another thing.
All this type of stuff. I do like that they explained what happened. In the trailer they released forever ago about why Luke was just staring at this burning house and because he tried to, he was going to kill Kylo, then he changed his mind, but he got caught in his house with an active lightsaber, so he was like, nah, we're gonna cut this arm right here. But yeah, it's weird. In Force Awakens, I kind of did not like Kylo.
Still
Maybe
don't
only
like
because the way he. It was crazy. Maybe it's because the way he. Like his hair was just like so like. I don't know how.
his hair.
No, it's weird. Like he just didn't look like a bad guy to me. It's like I don't know how to say. Like he looked like a bad guy with the mask on, and I think with the mask on, he looks very cool. Got some good shades of Darth Vader in there from the first one. I know we didn't do like a review for the first one, but it's like I could talk about that all day. But for like this one, at least like progression wise, I feel like I actually did a good job. I'm not with Shanique on the boat where like she could just like cut the whole movie out. I feel like it does add some progression. I do kind of want to know how the hell Leia was able to like use the Force or whatever it was to like fly out of space back into the spaceship. I don't know what's going on there. That was a little weird for me to comprehend. And that's not. I don't know.
What's your grade, Michael?
B plus, Shanique.
Thank you.
Fine. Moving forward.
We're gonna get into that. I just wanted to.
I was gonna get to it. Then when you was like, "What's your grade, Michael?" I was gonna get to it, Shanique. I always get to it. Anyway, this is a B plus movie, guys. I enjoyed it as a star. I'm not like I don't know all the intricacies of Star Wars because maybe the answers I'm looking for maybe they've already been answered, but I might have just missed them. Maybe I glossed over them somewhere. But yeah, B plus.
All right, since you're more a Star Wars fan than me.
I literally just gave a disclaimer saying I don't know all the intricacies. So
no, I said more than me because I'm not one, so you're automatically more than me for being one. But do you think this is better than Force Awakens?
Oh no, I don't think so. And I'm not even gonna blame anything like the pace or like this or like the cast of what's going on here, or even the fact that John Boyega for some reason has like a love interest now. I feel like that was a little just shoved. It didn't take away from the movie for me, but it did like make me raise an eyebrow. But I don't know. I just feel like the opening sequence in this like new trilogy, for some reason, was the best. Like in a lot of series too, the opening and the ending of like any like saga or trilogy or bunch of movies that like go together, they're the best parts. The middle, for some reason, this actually felt like a middle movie. I haven't even seen the last one yet, and I already felt like this one felt like a middle movie. There were some very good highlights in this movie for me. Like I did like, because for one, I thought the admiral that was going to replace Leia, I thought she was going to be a bad guy. Because I thought that gambler guy, when they said make a deal, I thought they were referring to her. But apparently we were not. And in fact, she ended up having like one of the most badass scenes in the whole damn movie. She takes a whole spaceship and goes light speed through Snoke's spaceship, and I was like, yeah, that shit right there. I'm here for that. But, granted, that happened like, I don't know what that was, like an hour and a half, 2 hours into the movie.
It was definitely in the back half, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, okay, fine. Like, I will say that, this movie definitely took its time with the pace, like, flesh some other things out. Like, I see where she's coming from with the whole Luke thing and Leia, sorry, not Leia, but Rey. I see where she's coming from with that, but I was like, I don't know. I kind of like the whole, like, idea of her being there and getting some actual formal Jedi training, seeing what's that like, seeing what that is like, seeing why Luke has a problem.
I like
the
that.
Contact between her and Kylo was interesting because it was, to me, like, it was weird. This movie made it look like they were related, and I'm like, what if they are? What if he killed her father as well because they're related?
No, but to me, it felt more romantic than like platonic.
I didn't catch that at all. No.
I mean, that's why I saw.
I felt more romantic from Finn and Rey in the first one more than I do for Kylo and Rey in this one.
Well, obviously not at the end of the movie. That's dead.
All the way through, to be honest. But yeah.
No, here's my thing. Here's my thing about the whole Luke and Rey thing. You could have cut a lot of it. My issue with it, there was a lot of just staring and like. The one thing that Star Wars movie does that I don't particularly like is that something you're supposed to clap or whatever because the score like picks up and it's like really loud. I'm not gonna jack up the score because the score is actually really good, but it throws in that like cheesy element because it's kind of like, I don't know what's the right word, steer the viewers like opinion on how they're supposed to feel about it. Like when the woman sacrificed herself. It's like, and then when Rey, like, what is it? Move the rocks at the end. You hear that same score. Every, like, heroic moment, they play the same score. And I guess it's like a signature Star Wars trait. I get
when that woman flew through the spaceship, like, the whole thing got muted. Like they show what happened, but they muted all the sound
did,
in the show in the movie. I mean,
when she actually hit it, yeah, but when she was about to, they had that score in there.
That got glossed over me.
I noticed every time. I knew when something was supposed to be like, ooh, nostalgic or brave or like powerful, because they had the same like type of music hit every time, and they had a lot of like, oh my god, stares, and I could not stand that shit. And I know it's a signature because they do it in like every Star Wars movie. It's just how they're filmed, but it also kind of takes me out of it because I'd rather you just let me feel what I'm supposed to feel instead of try to gear it. But that's my thing. And then Rose, I actually liked her, except for that thing with Finn. I saw that she liked Finn, but I don't think Finn likes her. But I could be wrong. I think he likes her in the same way he likes Rey, in the sense that like he's like, oh, they're so brave, they're willing to fight for it, and they're friends and everything. But I think the kiss threw him off because he didn't even kiss her back. He was just like, well, you about to die, so we're not gonna do the side. We're not gonna like curve you right here.
Mm-hmm.
But the kiss felt awkward, and I was like, no. And then that whole thing with Rey and Kylo. Here's the thing about Kylo. I don't give a shit about him. And I know the movie's trying to make me care. Like the scene where Luke changed his mind about killing him, but Kylo was like, hold the fuck up. And like looked up and was like, nigga, what? And took it the wrong way. I'm supposed to see a scared little boy, but I'm like, he looked the same way in every other scene. When he talks to Rey, he looks the same way. When he was talking to Han Solo in the last movie, he looked the same. He just always looks like the actor just doesn't work for me. So I don't really care about the character. And then Snoke, when Snoke like, dies, spoiler alert, I'm like, damn, I don't even know how the hell you corrupted Ben / Kylo. I like Ben better than Kylo. And I don't know what was your goal. I don't know what the hell you're doing, but you're dead, so I guess it doesn't fucking matter anymore. And I still don't understand what the First Order is trying to do. I get that they're trying to maybe conquer the galaxy, but then after that, what's the point? Like, what is...
They just want to... Listen, it's like a lot of the bad guy movies where it's like, what's the bad guy want? World domination. Why? Because...
Yeah, but I don't get how they became the First Order. Like, at least I don't get the... Like, how they're there. I don't get how Snoke corrupted Ben. I don't even get how he started this thing. I don't understand the bad guy in a sense of, like, where the hell they came from. I kind of get Kylo a little bit more because, one, he felt his parents abandoned him by sending him to Luke. And then when he trusted Luke, Luke tried to, kill him in his sleep. But... he said, oh, Snoke already attacked his mind. So he Snoke pulled what that Jedi did to Anakin. But I don't know how that even started. I don't understand how Snoke was able to do that while Luke was there. I don't get it. Maybe it's the same thing that Rey and Kylo were doing the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
But even though he had this horrible backstory and he was in his feelings, I'm just thinking he's a little bitch the whole time. I was over him. I just didn't care. I liked Luke very much towards the end. Then he died, and I was like, well, there was no point in liking you then either. I still like Rey. She's still the best character in this trilogy. And I like that she realized she's a Jedi, which was obvious since the last one. But how is she going to get trained? I don't know.
I don't know. She's the Last Jedi. I don't know.
But she has the books, because I saw that they have the Jedi books in the little ship that she was in, because Finn and I saw it there. So I'm like, she's just gonna have to read and study like everyone else. She won't have a teacher. Another thing, how was Luke able to see Yoda? Can someone explain that to me?
It's a force thing. His force is existing, and it's gonna sound corny when I explain. It's a force thing. His spirit is just in the force, pretty much. Like it's not the first time it's happened. It's happened in one of the older movies as well. But like he didn't come back and shoot lightning on a tree though. He didn't do all that. But before they would just come back and talk to you.
Oh yeah, 'cause I guess I would understand, except like it's like, oh, the Force makes him appear, but he used powers, so then I was like,
Yeah, that was a little different. That part, okay,
you can't. Okay, so when he used powers, it threw me
it's a
the fuck
force thing.
off.
That's all I got.
It's a Force thing, and they explain what the Force is, which I thought was really cool. But I admit, watching these movies, I didn't know what the fuck the Force was. It was actually cool the way Luke explained it. I liked one thing I did like about the movie is how they play with Rey's doubting herself and trying to like they try to fake you out like, oh, she's gonna go to the dark side, which they did that in the trailer, by the way. The scene where she's like, I need to know my place in this. She's talking to Luke and not Kylo, but they cut it to make it look like she was gonna grab his hand, which she technically was, I think, with just a totally different context. And so now Kylo's like the new bad guy. Well, I guess the main bad guy now. But I don't give a damn about Kylo. I'm sorry, Han Solo, your son. He's just a whiny bitch to me. Just the way it is. I do like your ex-wife. Isn't she his ex-wife? Kylo's mom? Weren't they married?
They were still together. I don't think they got unmarried. Like
well, then Han was a bad husband because he wasn't around his wife.
Yeah, they talked about that. They know.
I thought he was like not with his wife anymore.
I don't know.
Okay, well, his sort of kind of ex. I'm sorry, your son's just garbage. If I had to name a character I hate the most, which I'm supposed to hate, him and that red eye general, not red eye, red hair.
Oh, Hux or whatever his name was.
That guy, no, Bill Weasley from Harry Potter. That's all I see when I look at him. And like to explain, I think I kind of basically explained why I think it's a filler. Nothing was resolved really. It was just this movie just strictly character development. It didn't really advance the story much, besides maybe killing off Snoke. Snoke? Yeah, I'm saying it right.
It's a K.
I said that.
Right.
It's Snoke, right? Is that not how you pronounce it? Okay. But yeah, besides that and having Ben become the new like ultimate ruler, nothing else happened. And one thing about this trilogy, the good guys, they getting their ass beat.
It's supposed to. That makes the comeback look even bigger in the last one.
But I don't even see how they can unless Rey actually learns what the fuck she's gonna do.
Watch the earlier one. That's literally their whole format for their movies. Like, hey, we're getting our asses wrecked, and then a Force thing happens, and then they don't.
Okay.
A Force thing. I'm gonna put on a shirt. A Force thing. Don't worry about it. It's a Force thing.
All right. So I guess I already named my favorite character, Rey. I explained why I think she's the character with the most depth.
I said depth? What? Depth?
Yes. The P is escaping me right now. Don't judge me.
Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties, yes. Speech problems over here. She has the most character development. She's the most likable to me, besides maybe Finn. But then I was about to say something really mean about Finn, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna be nice to the only black guy in there. She was really good with like consistent about what she wanted, and even when she started to waver, she still held her ground and she didn't like fall for the BS like Ben did. So she has very good integrity, and I like that about her a lot. Most hated, y'all already know, the one and only Ben Solo, Kylo Ren. I'm supposed to hate him, so I'm okay with that. But I feel like they're trying to make me feel sorry for him, and I just don't have the capacity to do that. But you, favorite, hated?
I don't really hate anybody particularly. I mean, I did kind of hate that Admiral that stepped in for Leia for a second, because I was like, oh, I guess it's like these are my favorite character, but my favorite character is Poe. Like, when them two were going at it the whole time, it's like, Poe was like, dog, we kind of need to do something. Two of our ships just like fell back there and got eaten up by sharks. Can we not be that? And she was like, listen, sit still. I'm working on something. I don't know. Like, that was her whole plan. And then I'll admit, like I said before, she did have like a very big redeeming moment for me, where like she went light speed through Snow ship.
She had a plan though.
I mean, she had a plan, but she wasn't passing it on.
But Poe is not. He's not on the. He doesn't have the clearance anymore. He got demoted, so he doesn't need to know.
Listen, almost nobody knew though. Like, probably, if anybody didn't know, there's like a handful of people. Apparently, like Leia knew, but like, it's like, what's the harm in telling anybody this?
They did know because she made them like load the transport, so a lot of people knew.
No, see, they were gonna load the transport and then have her like sacrifice herself or whatever it was. And like he didn't even know about like what's the name, the fact that nobody knew that they can be tracked, because they wanted to go in the transport thinking, all right, they can't get tracked because they're too small. They're only aiming at the big ship. But then that's one of the other places I got confused. Apparently that one the codebreaker guy like sold information to him.
No, it wasn't that the little ships were cloaked. So the other ship couldn't track it because they didn't have the little cloaking thing.
Right, I know that.
So the gambler guy gave them the plan, essentially, for the cloaking, which is why they got killed.
Here's my thing, though. They said he made a deal with somebody, and I'm wondering who... apparently Finn, like, he got questioned it as well. But like, my thing is, it cut right to the purple-haired lady again. I'm like, she's the one who sold to this. Who sold to them? Maybe she's the one, like, making the deal here. But like,
no, he made... What do you mean, a deal?
With somebody, like, he could have deal to, like, do something. And I'm like... what's the name? Find out like the fact that they're cloaked or something, like.
That wasn't his deal.
What's his deal?
His deal was he told the First Order about the cloaking so he can get all those weapons and shit. Yeah,
that's the cloaking for the First Order ship that their guys should be on board. I'm talking about the one for the small pods.
No.
Like, how were they able to sense it even though, like, he told them about it?
What do you mean?
Because the escape pods were supposed to be invisible when they went down to that planet. But for some reason, through his work, apparently, they knew how to track the pods. Somehow. Like, they weren't cloaked or whatever it was. They were on their radar. They could fire it with their big-ass laser guns or whatever the hell it was.
No, I thought he overheard Finn and Poe talking about it. Because Poe talked to Finn.
Yeah, I mean, even if you talk about it, it's like... How do you tell someone how to, like, track their shit? Like, he just got on the ship with them, so it's like, how are they able to shoot it down?
I mean, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure that guy, he told them the plan, and then they figured out how the cloaking worked.
I mean, listen, we can chalk it up to that, but I'm not too sold on either. I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm also not too sold on that either. But that's okay, because...
All we know is that he told them. Mm-hmm. And they figured out the cloaking and then went for it. I mean, they probably knew how to... I think the thing was, they thought that they wouldn't even risk transporting. The First Order thought that. So they got cocky and only attacked the main ship. And then when the guy told them the plan, they was like, oh, hell no. Uncloak and then shoot them.
Sure. But it's like, even if they could, they didn't know how to. So it's like, how do you tell them how to? Hey, they're gonna be cloaked. Shoot and use your I don't know. They failed to explain something right there. And one, I don't even know if he's the actual code breaker that they were looking for. How did they know how to? How did he know to find them in jail on some random ass casino planet or whatever?
No, I just thought that was a coincidence.
Yeah, I mean that's another thing. It's like, they never explained who the code breaker was. Like, was it the actual guy with the thing on his shirt, or was there some like random code breaker guy who's like, making deals with the First Order? And even, let's say that even happened, like, at what point in time did that happen? Like, when was he in contact with the First Order? But, you know what?
I thought it was when they got captured. He made a deal. They said it.
Yeah, but they were all together the entire time. So how that happen between there?
No, they were not. They weren't. So what happened?
They all got there on the same ship when they.
Yes, they got there at the same time. But when the First Order actually attacked them, they were all separated because Rose was brought separate, Finn, and then that guy was they were separated when they got captured. Mm-hmm. That's when he made the deal with them.
All right. I don't know. Still doesn't explain the whole cloaking thing, or even
cloaking.
I get it. 1 second. But or even how the hell they found some random hacker guy on some planet in a jail.
But that was supposed to be a coincidence. I don't think you're supposed to dig that deep into it.
I mean, I guess, but sure, I'll chalk it up to that. Sure.
Because they were like, who the fuck is this?
Mm-hmm.
And then when they saw him get out, they were like, all right, we have no other choice. We couldn't get to the real guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so, bam. But you're right. For all we know, he could have been the guy they were looking for in the first place. Because they said he was sketchy. But
he also said he had the little lapel thingy or whatever. But like,
they found that guy.
One fraction of a scene, and then they never talked about him again. Like, we never find out if he's the actual guy we're looking for. And considering that they threw some like giant monkey horses through the whole town, he probably went off. He either died or went off about his own business. So I don't even know.
We saw the girl he was with. Like, she ducked, and then the giant horse
jumped over
monkey thing was there. But I think you're not supposed to think that deeply into the guy. I think we will see him again. I don't know. Part of me thinks we're going to see him again.
Another thing I'm disappointed with this movie, and I just realized this, but Captain Phasma. I was disappointed with her in the first movie because I never really knew who the hell, what she was, what her deal was, why she's so special. I'm pretty sure in some other piece of media I can probably find out more about her. But it's like she had such a bitchy part in the first one. All she did was get captured, and in this one she got straight up wrecked. So it's like, I don't know what they did right there. That's some wasted property right there that they could made something out of. Cause she's the only shiny stormtrooper. I thought that was cool. Hell, she was freaking blaster proof. Like, she can't even get shot with regular blasters or just bounces off of her. Like, clearly she's a big deal. It's just we never figure out.
Well,
why
in her fight, the thing is they got lucky when they fought her. Because Finn originally went over. Had he not landed on that thing that went up, he would have been dead.
Yeah.
It was just luck that they beat her. But I never thought she was, important.
I mean, she's... When the stormtroopers, they work like this. There are about 1 million of them. They all look the same. When one looks different, they're special. Like Bubba and Jango. They're not even stormtroopers, really. They're just bounty hunters. But, they have the uniform to separate them from everybody else. A really special one would be wearing black or have some kind of special marking on them, or have a certain weapon that signifies that they're important. And then this one is just I'm shiny and I have a cape and I'm gonna get captured in the first movie and killed in the second one. I played my part here. I'm done. And I'm I don't know. That was a little bit of a waste for me. I also think
this movie's pretty long.
This might just be I know.
So I don't think we need more of her. Or you know what? Maybe
we didn't get much from her in the first place.
Or maybe cut out the pointless staring that we had in this movie. Then we could have had more time. Maybe I don't know, but I get what you're saying. She was built up, and then the fight was over really quick, and it was just done.
I think this movie, one thing about it banked. I'm not gonna say banked. That's the wrong word. But its strengths were its action scenes. Because, story-wise, I feel like some of the transitions could have worked a little bit better. But, I don't know. And I still don't know how the hell Leia caught the Force in space and, just came back to the ship.
Was that the Force? I don't know.
I'm calling it a Force thing. I don't know. It's just a Force thing.
I don't know what the hell that was.
Until I figure it out. She came back to life in space, where she should have been exceptionally dead.
Can they breathe in space?
It's weird. I think they can in the Star Wars universe somehow.
Okay.
Because let's say, remember the first, the girl's sister, Rose's sister? When she opened the bay doors, that was space right below her. And there was no vacuum sucking her out. And she was definitely breathing for a while. And then there was the part where, Snoke's ships, got torn in half. Everyone was kind of fine. Hell, the stormtroopers were still in formation. I was like, you guys are some disciplined motherfuckers.
Okay, well
I don't know. I always thought that's not how it worked, but apparently they can. Even though Leia was I don't know, she was breathing in space.
She did some weird
in space.
She did some weird arm stretch, and she floated back into the ship.
Yeah,
and that was weird. And also, let's talk about the ending. One, Kylo Ren, being the bitch that he is, said, shoot Luke, right?
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? What did they blow up then? That was causing the fake blood.
That wasn't blood. That was remember they said the planet. Remember when the ship's flying and everything turns red? It's a salt planet, pretty much. There's a surface on the planet that's white.
So okay, but there were chunks though. It wasn't salt little things.
I think it was just dirt. It wasn't chunks of guts and stuff like that. I think it was just dirt clumps. or like in this case, salt. Because there's a time the guy like walked forward and the guy like licked his boot stain or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, it's salt."
Okay.
Everything on that planet is just salt, pretty much.
It didn't look like salt, but
you know, at first, like I think it did play a good illusion on me. Cause I fell for it as well. I'm like, damn, that's all Luke was here for. He came back to this planet to just straight up get murked. But like, and I thought one thing was like extra gangster about that scene when he walked out of the cloud after getting shot at and like brushed his shoulder off. I was like, this is a real one.
Yeah, that was actually a really good scene.
Played you. He brushed you off his shoulder. That's disrespect. You have to kill him with a rusty spoon now, Kylo, because you just lost all your street cred.
So if he was just a projection, why was Layla... I keep saying Leia. It's Leia.
Mm-hmm.
Leia was able to touch him.
I don't know, because remember, it's the same kind of thing happened with Rey and Kylo, where like they technically touch each other, but they're not there, so they're not touching each other. You know? I think it's like a mental projection thing. Where it's like, it's in your head, so like your head sees the touch, like, you know, your senses kind of confused, and it says, he's right on my forehead, so he must be on my forehead. One thing I don't understand is how he actually brought like a physical object and made that like holographic or whatever the hell it was. Those dice, those golden dice, and I was like, how the hell did he pull that off? And they still existed after he disappeared and faded off into the force.
But it eventually faded.
Yeah, I know. But they faded after he left.
How was he able to, I don't know, hold a weapon? Or...
Well, he wasn't holding a weapon. Because their swords never clashed. He only dodged. Remember that one like weird Matrix dodge he did? Their swords never... Yeah, he had it up in the open for like, you know, to fool them, I guess. To like, hey, here's my lightsaber. Hit me. But like, that never happened.
Okay. I guess
It's a Force thing. Put it on a shirt.
Yes. When you don't know what the hell is happening in a Star Wars movie, just say it's a Force thing.
It's most likely a Force thing, to be honest.
Yeah. Another scene that I thought was too fucking long was when Rey, sorry, I'm clashing names now. Rey went into like the darkness.
Oh yeah.
And tried to find her parents, and then she cloned herself and like made this long line, and they made this snap thing. Visually beautiful. Overall, just a waste of time. They could have cut that scene like in half.
I'm thinking it's supposed to be some kind of weird metaphor thing, but my brain can't think on that level.
I don't know what metaphor it was trying to show.
It's like, you know, the thing was that she's saying like, you know, don't reach backwards, or like, you know, if you look back far enough, you might. I don't know. I'm talking out of my ass at this point. It's a Force thing.
What the fuck, yo?
I don't know.
That made no sense.
I'm pretty sure it's one of them. Like, you know, how some movies they will use like visual stories to like say something, but sometimes just like really puzzling.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't get what the hell it means. I can't for the life of me figure it out. I wish I was smart enough, and I wish I had the high enough IQ to figure this out. But mine is in the single digits, so no, I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, I don't particularly understand the point.
I don't think
I get the point.
I do agree with you being pretty, but like I don't.
No, cut in half. Like maybe. The scene was too damn long. Look, I didn't need to see her snap her fingers for like 10,000 people. Like I didn't need that part. And then like, oh, let me see my parents. It's just my reflection. And then the scene's over, and then she jumps to Luke, and I'm like, what the hell is the point of that scene? Like, what did she learn? If you cut that scene out, you could have still had that scene with Luke, and you wouldn't miss anything.
At some point, it was like, apparently she was like looking for some kind of answer, like, who are my parents? And like, there were like two shadowy figures in the distance coming towards her, and then they fused into one, and you realize it was just herself. And I'm like, I don't know what this means still. Like, there was something there to be explained,
but like, I didn't get it.
They never got around to it.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
I don't think we're supposed to get it. So it's okay. I think it's just there to look like really cool. Like, oh, here's like a million Rays. So
it looked confusing as shit, but visually really nice effects. But it's a waste of a scene. And then there's a scene. The one thing I did like was when he was first training Rey. Luke was training Rey, and with the rocks. I thought that was a pretty cool scene. Where she first moved the rocks for the first time. I thought that was cool. The scene where she was just watching him all day, you could have cut that shit. Like, why did we have to have her watch him get the fish? And what was that animal where he got the water green liquid from? The udder?
Oh, I don't know. That I'm definitely not getting into. I have zero idea.
That looked weird, and he like looked at Ray and was like, refreshing. And I was like, why do we need to see this? Boring.
I guess it's just like to show how he's been living his life on an island for like, how many years. Like, clearly we need this guy for how long to help fight in this big ass war or whatever. But like, no, he's here drinking milk.
Green titty juice. That's what it looked like. That's exactly what it looked like.
Put that on a shirt. Say it looked like green titty juice.
That's what it looked like. And then Ray looked at the animal and the animal was like, and then it cut the scene. And I was like, what the fuck is the point? I didn't need to see him drink the green titty juice. I really didn't. That's just me.
Gotta get into merchandising, man. Green titty juice must be on a shirt somewhere.
And then what was else? I didn't particularly.
I'm pretty sure all those little weird like penguin bird furry things, they're just there to like sell toys. Because I remember walking through like Target the other day, and I was like, sure, a lot of these plushy things around.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's just a marketing thing. But I thought it was hella cool when like Chewie was like about to eat one. And one of them just like stared at him like, no, listen, if that was me, Chewie, I would have been chewing the damn bird penguin dog thing.
What was funny though was when he smacked one in the ship. That was funny.
Like, get the fuck out of my way. How'd y'all get in here? Why is there a nest in here now?
Cause they left the ship open. And they was like, ooh, warmness.
They moved in quick, man. I don't know.
They did. They built a whole community up in that ship. Let's see. What else was really puzzling? There was now Poe. I didn't talk about Poe. My thing with Poe is that he did learn his lesson at the end, but he killed so many people on the way learning the lesson. Because honestly, I don't think that, what is that ship called that they blew up? Dreadnought?
Dreadnought, yeah.
That wasn't worth your whole bombing fleet.
Yeah, that's what Lady was talking to him about. Like, yeah, we did good, but we kind of blew our whole load trying to get it done. So it's like, now we got nothing left. We got like, about like 100 people down now. Yeah,
like, I'm glad he learned his lesson towards the end. Because one thing I did like about the new general that replaced her while she was like taking her nap after her force fly, through space. The general was not playing games with him. He was like, no, you don't listen. So I'm just I'm handling my business. And she came through, and I actually ended up liking her. She's one of the minor, like, secondary characters that I end up liking because she knew what she was doing. And I knew, my thing is, I wasn't worried about her because I didn't think that the general would appoint someone as her replacement who didn't have her same ideology, like her same like morals and stuff. So I was like, nah, I'm not worried about her. And I see why she's not feeling Poe right now because he keeps going half cock and stuff, and people keep dying. And it's like, yo, we it. You can't just throw away people for every little thing. And then I liked Finn again towards the end of the movie. Because in the beginning of the movie, I'm like, yo, not everything's about Rey. We have a whole galaxy. Calm down.
He did try to sacrifice himself toward the end. And
that's what I said, towards the end. But the beginning of the movie,
I know, yeah, I feel you. I was agreeing with you. I was like, toward the end, you see one, like, moment. That was a Finn moment. Because I don't think they were in, like, really, really, like, Finn moments. Other than the fight with Captain Phasma and, where he tried to sacrifice for himself. Because in the first one, I thought it was cool when, he held the lightsaber. And when he, like, fought that stormtrooper with the big-ass, like, electro bat thing or whatever the hell it was. Yeah. I thought those two scenes were cool. But I think they were cooler than the ones in this movie, though. Mostly because, like, if Finn died, I'd have been hurt. But it would have affected me in a good way, because I want to see him go out good. But then, like, Rose saved him, and then that's the thing now. So I'm like, I'm not...
Is it a thing?
I'm not mad. I'm not happy about it, though. But it's like, I just got a big-ass question mark about why,
Like, is it a thing, though? Because I don't know if Finn likes her.
One thing I want to point out, when she rammed into him, they were right in front of all the First Order armies, by themselves, because, like, he flew all the way out there by himself. How the hell did he drag her back on a sled without being shot at?
You know why? Because he probably did it when Kylo was fighting fake Luke.
Maybe. I could have sworn that before that, but maybe.
Because here's the thing. Or when they were shooting at fake Luke as well. Because Kylo made them only point at there. So it's very easy to slip past that. And then Kylo's like, nah, I got this. You're not going to kill him. I got this. And so he was able to get the sled in there and all that stuff. Was that a sled? I think that was just part of the ship.
Some part of the shit to like drag around. I just called it a sled.
Yeah, and I think that's how he was able to slip through. But I was just like, bruh. Honestly, I would have preferred they killed him. No offense. I like Finn, but I thought that would be a really good scene.
This would have actually like been a... I feel like if you know, sure, I'm okay with him living now that he's alive. You can't kill him now because you can't put me on like a cliffhanger like that and make me think he's gonna die. Now that you saved him, he needs to live, Star Wars.
Nah, you take him out.
You fuck me and kill him right now, yo, I'm done.
No, you're not.
I will not see... listen, dog, I will come back to this podcast and like erase and redo it myself. Be like, fuck this movie. Because y'all supposed to kill him in this one, but then you killed him in the third one instead. Yeah, you know,
he's full of shit. He will be right back here. I
will re-record this podcast.
Everyone died in Rogue One. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, because they didn't say, I'm almost gonna die, make another movie, then kill them.
That's the point, though.
No!
Look how many movies Luke survived to die in this one.
He sacrificed himself.
Yeah, so was Finn. And then Finn could do it again.
Luke was powerful though. Finn is like fighting an army by himself in a fucking rust bucket.
Hey, he put himself there though. He trying to go out like a G.
Yeah, which they stole from him now. Nowadays he doesn't get a chance to go out like a G.
He can again in the next movie. Finn always almost dies in every movie.
No, you don't get to bring him this close though. The last one, I obviously knew he was gonna live. Because listen, the way lightsabers work. If you get slashed, you might live unless like you get either cut in half or get your head cut off. Only the people who get killed with like that kind of stuff actually die. If you get like or impaled, I'm sure I say too. If you get impaled, you're gonna die.
Rest in peace.
I know, but it's like if you get like, just like a regular slash like you did in the first one, you're gonna live. I wasn't worried about him at all right there. This one, I was like, damn, they're about to kill off the black guy. The black guy.
Oh, I heard bad guy. I was like,
they're about to kill off the black guy. And I was like, shit. Okay, I guess he's about to go out like a real one. But then, that didn't happen. So now, like, you're kind of obligated to let him live now. Because you can't bring me that close thinking he's going to die.
Now, you could kill him, Star Wars. I'll be fine with it.
You know what? A part of me wants to say good job for making me think so much that someone's actually going to die, though. Because usually I don't fall for that. I'm like,
he's in the movie theater like, no, right next to
yeah, I was like, dog, you can't go out like this, yo. What the fuck? I was in my feelings a little bit.
Yeah, he was just like, no, I've never heard Michael. Anytime, that's usually me. I've never heard Michael be like, no.
Yes. Listen, the only person I even, like, clearly John Boyega's been in other movies, but like this is what Star Wars exposed him to me, and I'm like, wow, one of the leads in the Star Wars movies is black.
Dun-dun-dun.
So like now if he dies, I'm like, oh, there goes Hollywood again, killing off all the black folk.
Hey, we got Asians, we got British people, we got all that.
Yeah, you're right, we did.
It's a very diverse cast. Good job. So he can go.
No, you gotta live.
No.
Lucasfilms, fuck me. I dare you.
Fuck him hard, then.
Okay, you're going this is why I be saying pause, because you be doing shit like that, yo.
Okay. Let's go. Predictions. Unless you have anything else to say about Last Jedi.
I'm good, guys.
I think we hit everything.
It's not Force Awakens, because Force Awakens right now is still one of my favorite of the two. I know a part of me, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I like this movie a lot, but I still think Rogue One might edge it out a little bit for me.
Still, Rogue One's my favorite.
So, I don't know. Because Rogue One, even the standalone story did great. And, check out the podcast on that too, but...
Did we do a podcast?
Oh, no, we did not do a podcast. No,
yo, he shamelessly plugging a fake podcast. No, we never did.
I could have swore we did.
No.
Was that for me?
That was like we just went to the theater and the podcast didn't exist yet.
I'm sorry, folks. We do so many podcasts for like movies that we see that I assume we just do one for every movie we see now.
No.
So it's like there's only a handful of movies we saw last year that weren't for the podcast. So excuse me if I got that one mixed up.
Hey, but like, if you're looking at our list of podcasts and you don't see Rogue One, click another one.
Yeah, that's fine. Definitely, we have something in there. Check out Mindhunters. I always put that one out there. Shameless plug.
Spider-Man, Homecoming, Thor. We got it.
That one's in space. It's kind of like Star Wars,
He full of shit. But like, so, all right. I'm going to give my predictions for episode 9. Right. Hey, I got it. I'm getting there. I'm
you
getting there.
doubted yourself.
I did though. I was like, what?
You hesitated hard.
Okay. So, episode 9. Here's what's going to happen. Princess Leia will die. That's number 1. Rose and Finn. Finn's gonna curve her so hard. Third, if it's the end of the trilogy, then Rey has to kill Ben.
Or Ben turns good. I feel like Ben could potentially turn
kill
good.
that motherfucker.
He came close.
After he killed his father, he can't turn good in my eyes. He just can't.
Oh, that's true.
So kill him. Just kill him. But he couldn't kill his mom though. So that means mom was putting in work and dad was lying.
And he chose not to kill Rey. He chose to kill Snoke instead. Which,
but that's because he wanted the throne.
That could be for him, right? That could have been for him. I get that, but like at the end of the day,
he wanted Rey by himself.
You could have killed 2 birds with 1 stone. That's the way I see it, anyway.
Anyway, but yes, I think Ben's gonna die, or my good prediction, he's gonna turn good. I wouldn't be surprised if Poe dies.
I wouldn't be either. I'd miss him because I know like he's my favorite character right now, along with Finn.
He be acting like Dom in like the Fast and Furious. I'm invincible. I'm just gonna roll down a cliff with no helmet. He had that mentality.
You can't just hop in an X-wing and blow stuff up. 5 seconds later, you want me to hop in an X-wing and blow stuff up? Go for it.
Yeah, he's very courageous and he's very.
Hey, he gets stuff done. I'll give him that.
He does, but I predict he's going to die. I predict once they kill Ben, they'll take out the First Order, but they got to kill that general too.
Hugs. Yeah, he's gonna die.
Yeah,
he's gonna catch it in a bad way.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna die in the next movie. Who's gonna lead the rebellion? If Poe doesn't die, it will become Poe. Otherwise, it will be Rey. Or Finn. If Finn makes it too. I think Rey and Finn are definitely gonna make it. Poe's a maybe. Ben's a maybe. And that general for the First Order, he's dead. And then they're just gonna end it. And then it's gonna be peace until a new threat comes. Until
like another 20 years comes and they make it to another Star Wars trilogy, which apparently is like their formula here. Like every decade and change, it's like stop making Star Wars again.
Yeah, next trilogy, Rey has a child who becomes evil. Whatever.
That's kind of the formula for it too. Like everyone's kid is like evil or some shit like that. Like everyone's kid is evil. Anakin became evil. Kylo became evil.
I mean, but Anakin's kids didn't become evil.
Anakin's kids didn't become evil. You're right about that.
Which is weird. But hey, whatever works.
You're right.
So yeah, definitely that's what I think. What about you?
I don't know how I could end this story here. Because like, I wish they could at least make some progress in the way of like fighting back. And I mean, I get it. They did kill Snoke, which is a lot of progress. But
But then they're left with Rilo, and he's not. Or Ben. Let's call him his government.
I like Rilo. Let's go with Rilo.
Yeah, I know it's Kylo.
Rilo Ken.
Yep, I'm very serious.
Oh my God, that's actually a cool name, Rilo Ken. All right.
Let's call him Ben Solo. Okay, let's call him what his parents named him.
Okay, yeah, sure, Ben. Well, yeah, I feel like Ben's gonna be a big deal. He's gonna have an interesting plot point, obviously, because he's gonna be a big deal for this. Story-wise, I don't know. Star Wars has a weird way of like formulating their story. Like this one is just pretty much another chase one, because like they're just chasing them the whole movie. After like they bombed the dreadnought, they're like, nah, we're just gonna follow you guys around now.
Yep. That's basically the whole movie.
So I have no idea what the premise of the next one could be, unless like a big ass war, which would be cool. Or I'm hoping the Jedi schools come back if Rey wins.
You know what I'm also
hoping? Like a new generation of Jedis. So
I'm also hoping that the allies actually show up for them.
Oh yeah, they were missing in action for this.
They were like, nah, bro.
Like, nah. We fought them once. It didn't work out very well for us. We're gonna call it a day.
Nah.
You're on your own.
Not about that.
Enjoy that salt planet.
Alright, so let's close this out. Overall, this movie's okay.
It's not Force Awakens. It's not Rogue One. But it's still very enjoyable. Especially at the last, like Shanique said, I think it just shines in the last like half or so.
Not even the last half. Because this movie's what, 2 hours and 45 minutes? Around there?
Maybe it's about 2 hours and a half. I think 45 minutes came from the credits and all that kind of shit.
Okay. So, the last 30 minutes is the best part of the entire movie.
I won't say 30 minutes, but that's fine.
The last
I feel like
30
everything after the casino was cool for me. That's where I'm like, yeah, this movie's alright now. It's like, it's upper echelon.
It only took like 2 hours to get there, but yeah, it's fine. Completely.
Half, maybe an hour.
That's still over half the movie.
Okay.
Anyway, so look, overall, I say if you're a Star Wars fan, why stop now? You're already.
That's not the way to motivate someone to watch. Like, I guess. Hey, if you've seen the last one, you may as well see this one.
Let me finish my closing. Hey, let me finish my closing remarks.
Bullshit review. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Anyway, ignore the Star Wars head. If you're a Star Wars fan, hey, you already started the trilogy. Take it home. See The Last Jedi. See the Han Solo story movie. See Episode 9. Call it a day. If you're not a Star Wars fan, do not watch this movie to actually like the series. Don't do that. It's not gonna help you.
It's good sci-fi.
No, it's not. And wait till it's on DVD. Save your money and watch it at home. That's all I got to say.
I don't think you're wasting your money if you go to see it, to be honest. I mean, granted, like I said, I know I'm coming off like I'm talking shit about it, but it's like, I'm still saying that, the last two were better, but this one is just not, it's not saying that bronze is a bad thing here, because it's not like, leagues and bounds beyond it and nothing like that. And, I feel like it's still good sci-fi. My only problem is if you're not a fan of Star Wars and this is your first one,
that's what
it's going to be a rough ride. That's not a position you want to put yourself through. They don't explain a lot about the last 8 movies and the Rogue One spawn, little thing going on there. So it's like, you're kind of just left to watching the action. The action is pretty well done. There are some good lightsaber scenes in this one. We didn't get to talk about Rey and Kylo fighting together.
That was a good scene.
That whole scene was awesome.
Yep.
And I was like, damn, this is looking pretty dope. Kylo was in there doing. He reminded me of Logan. The way he was like killing people. It's like everyone's getting impaled and beheaded. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's your whole fighting style. I get it. Sure, go for it. It's you. I like the whole relationship between Kylo and the General, like how he's like his bitch now. Snoke, I don't give a shit about him because I don't know anything about him. I know he's powerful apparently. I don't know if he's like Sith or something. I never saw him draw his own lightsaber. I just know he can like shoot lightning and shit while sitting in a chair
and control shit.
Yeah, and like he can like get inside your mind and stuff and like mentally torture Rey or whatever.
He's not important no
more. He
more.
Really isn't, but he never was in the first place. I think that's one thing Lucasfilm films did wrong with him. And Phasma. I wanted to like Phasma. I like Stormtroopers. And this one was shiny with a cape. And their own custom gun. And I know I got some like gas in my chest. I'm sorry. I'm trying to I got the burps that are stuck in there. But it's like, yes, I don't know. There are a couple of wasted opportunities that I thought they could have built upon from the last one. Like no build from Phasma and Snoke. The entire thing about finding Luke was a little bit underwhelming. I'm not saying it was boring, but I'm saying it was underwhelming. Hell, the contact between Rey and Kylo was more of a movie progressor than finding Luke was, and that's what we've been told about from the first one. So it's like I don't know, but like I said, it's not like it's not garbage. It's still worth a shot. It's worth my B+ on this podcast. So
it's definitely worth, C+, C range. Wait till you see it, at home.
Let us know about it.
Yeah. But anyway, so guys, tweet us at Echo You Podcast. Let us know what you think. Were we tripping? Was I tripping? Did I just shit on this movie, or was it actually
Kinda.
Hey. Was I wrong, or do you agree with me? Because I don't know. People at Rotten Tomatoes seem to agree with me. Just saying. Anyway, can I close? Can I close podcast?
Mm-hmm.
This Star Wars fan trying to get at me right now.
Okay, fine. I'll let her get all of her words in.
All right. Anyway, so yes, tweet us, leave comments, let me know. Hey, Shanique, you're a little too harsh on it, or Michael, you tripping? That movie was garbage. Let us know what you think about it. You can also find us on YouTube as well at Echo Underground Podcast, and then we're on other social media sites, including Facebook, iTunes, and podcasting apps, all under Echo Underground Podcast. Share it, like it, leave comments, and then, sorry, he's being weird. And let us know what you think, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye!
See ya.